get back in session at 6:39. Can I make a motion to go back into session?
So moved.
Support.
Roll call vote.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Present.
Well, this is a yes or no.
Voting into close, open session.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yes. Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. May?
Yes.
Cox is yes. Madam President?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Can't get people to say
Thank you.
yes.
We thought you was doing attendance.
Okay, so, the board is required by law to evaluate the superintendent on a yearly basis. Dr. Cost was evaluated by the board this evening on the following components: governance and board relations, community relations, staff relations, business and finance, instructional leadership, and overall, the rating of Dr. Cost was 100%. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So at this time, I need a motion to accept the superintendent's evaluation as presented. Can I get, sorry.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you, sorry. Can I have a motion? Thank you.
All right.
Weaver, supported by Cox.
Okay, and roll call vote?
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. May?
Yes.
Cox is yes. Ms. Hines?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0.
Congratulations, Dr. Cost.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll be doing recognitions and presentations, and we have the STEM Center, Dr. Karen Dickelman. I'm sorry, Karen Dickelman, I'm sorry. Future Dr. Karen Dickelman.
All right. So, okay, oh, there it is. Well, thank you for having us today.
Thank you for coming.
We were presenting on Project Possible. This is, let me see, oops, make sure I. There we go. The beginning of this project started, I met with the principal, Jennifer Page, at Stottlemyre. We were trying to figure out how to incorporate STEM across the whole building for all students. That was one thing that we both wanted very clearly, not just for some classrooms, but for every single classroom. As we were kind of designing our own design challenge, we started talking about wants and needs for the different classrooms. And this project just took on a life of its own, and it's been amazing. Okay, I'm having trouble with the clicker here. And I'm gonna let Angela go ahead and start with the project, and then we'll go from there.
So last school year, my STEM students worked with Stottlemyre to devise or 3D print iPad stands for the students, make sensory mats for them. This year, they had a new challenge. We asked what they needed. One of the things that the students needed was, this is what last year we had 3D printing and the sensory mats for them. They loved it, used everything. They said they were good with that. So this year we went ahead and met with them again. And the collaboration is a big part. We meet at the STEM Center. We did that again at the beginning of the year. I took my students, we went to the STEM Center once, and we went to Stottlemyre and to figure out what the needs were. And we had a whole list. And looking at what we were able to do in the classroom at the time, because the students also work on other projects within the class on top of working with Stottlemyre. We found that they needed name stamps for the students because they're not able to write their names on their projects. And they would like adaptable crayons. So those are two areas of focus for them. We had an idea of what we were going to do. The students researched, and I had different groups going, and the students were like, I think we have it. I'm like, okay, we got the supplies. I'm like, let's try it out. And so we tried. One of them for the stamps was to carve out of rubber their names. That was a great idea. That was a prototype that we tried with great difficulty. We figured it was not going to work. So after going to the McCall conference in March and went to a couple of Tinkercad presentations, that came to mind with the students. We did a quick lesson on Tinkercad, and they printed out their names. And we printed out handles, we connected them with Velcro, so that they were able to change out the names if necessary, if something broke, or if for some reason the student was no longer there or moving on, they could either take the stamp with them to use at their next level, or they could just change out the students' names. This last year we won the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow contest. But some of the students were in my class this year working on with Stoudemire again, and we'll continue working next year.
And these were the SXI classrooms, so they were able to participate with prototypes by giving back feedback and materials on how to make it improve.
So this is one of our adaptable crayons. We are still working on it. We thought we fixed the problem. We filled all the holes in the plastic container with hot glue, thinking that we'd be able to turn it. Right before our, torch run, we thought we'd fix it. We did not. So we're still in the process, and we'll pick up next year with my STEM students, trying to figure out what we can do. Karen and I have just a few hours ago think we may have solved it. We'll help lead the students through it to see if it in fact works. And a lot of the students that I had this year are planning to be in my STEM class next year, hopefully.
Okay.
So we'll just pick up where we left off.
Also, this year we had an ELA teacher from Stevenson that wanted to join the project. And so we took her ELA classes and she tied it in with Out of My Mind, the novel that they did the study on. And her classes did prototypes for toys and tools. So they had rock, paper, scissors was one of them, where they had the buttons and it would repeat, like they had the voices inside so they could press it, or roll the dice off the table. There was quite a few, but they were able to tie it in because STEM is found everywhere. So they were able to tie that in with their ELA curriculum and participate as well, and they were very excited about it. And that was some of their meetings where they would go to Roosevelt McGrath. Special Olympics gave us a grant to help fund materials for all the prototypes, and that's why we had the celebration with the torch run as well that we plan on continuing. And William D. Ford last year, the Metatronics class took four-wheel toddler Jeeps, and they basically took them apart and reassembled them so that the students were able to press their button with either their shoulder or with their hand, and it would make them more independent. So they programmed them, and they have special seating that worked with their back support and different types of seat belts. And the teachers had a remote control that also connected, so if they needed to help them turn, they could turn. And they put together 9 of these for the students to have, and it was phenomenal. I know that we're on a time limit. That was them testing it out at last year's celebration. It was very, very cool. And then I'm going to let Josh talk about his part this year, which is amazing.
I'm Josh Riklicki. I'm the cybersecurity and ethical hacking teacher at William Ford next door. And one thing that we love to do is to reverse engineer and figure out how things work and then rebuild them in a different way that gives them more capabilities. So that's what we did. We were given this environmental control unit, or electronic aid to daily living, which assists people who are differently able to react to their environments. And what we did was we built basically a little control center that allows various inputs: voice input, gesture, motion, camera inputs, simple switches, and then the output is data. So we can feed that data to switches to turn them on and off, we were talking about radio control cars maybe next year, that the kids can use different adaptive technologies in order to control those things. I had one student, Zach Burbo, who was instrumental in all of this. We've gone through, I believe, 14 iterations of this design so far. And, you know, it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So hopefully by the beginning of next year, we'll have something really nice to show.
And with these environmental control units, basically, you plug the switch in, and then you can plug in a fan. So they press the button, and it turns on the fan. These are not cheap by any means, and nor are they covered by insurance. So like one of the cheap models that has one switch might be $350 to $400, and the more you need, like if there's 4 plugs, it's up to almost $1,000. And then you think about the different rooms and the things that you need to turn in. He was able to make one for under $70. So, and then we started looking at the markup and costs and things like that for, you know, needs and wants and things like that. So it was really educational. Then for the torch run, that was me getting the torch. The torch was made by the welding class. It was heavy. But they designed it and made it, welded it together and painted it. And we partnered with Westland Police Department. We started at the STEM Center, and we walked from the STEM Center to Stottlemyre and had a picnic with pancakes at Rotary Park, and the students were able to present their prototypes to everybody that was there. It was amazing. It made my heart so happy, and I cannot wait to do it again next year. It was, I mean, the community came out. It was great to see all the celebrations for what these kids can do, because they don't know what they can do until they're given that opportunity. So, and there's some of the pictures from the celebration. That's Ben up in the corner talking with the chief. But thank you for your time. I don't know if you have any questions or anything.
Oh, yes, Ms. May?
Yeah, I do. I just, first of all, thank you so much for the work that you all do. I really enjoyed the STEM night that you guys had at the
Thank
park and had
you.
the opportunity to have some conversation. And I did talk to Mr. Josh a little bit, but looking at the Jeeps, like where are you guys getting the materials to support those projects? And then how can the board be of support with those projects?
I would love that. Basically, I use grant funds. I apply for different grants.
Okay.
I do have a little bit of general funds. Special Olympics gave us $1,000. So we just kind of bit and piece. Stacy isn't here tonight. She was the one that did the Jeeps.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the Jeeps we had donated from different families and
Yes, the
facilities.
Jeeps were all donated.
Okay.
Electrical was all done by HVAC. So we used spare lines and wires that we had through HVAC on our furnaces. And that's how we redid that. Stacy used some of her grant money from STEM and purchased the regulators that go in those Hot Wheels to turn them on and off and use the remotes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. I give the opportunity. The kids and everybody, like taking all from everybody's strengths is
Absolutely.
what builds it, and it's amazing. So
It is. It truly is. Thank you. And thank you.
Yes, thank you, you're doing a wonderful job. And we have Dr. Weaver.
My question is, first of all, thank you for the great job you're doing. But my question is, how large are we planning to grow this thing? Are we eventually thinking about a STEM center as a total school with embedded?
I don't know.
You know.
I think sky's the limit. Right now, I am pre-K through 12th grade. So how I work this last year and at least the beginning of the year this year, we're always kind of adapting. I have Mondays and Thursdays where elementary can come visit me, and I do like an hour and a half STEM design challenge, something like that goes along with the standards. The teachers have a Google form that they fill out. This is what standard I'm looking at. And then we either Google Meet or I give them like, here's some ideas I'm thinking, you choose. And then I spend all day at a middle school. So Adams is Tuesday, Stevenson is Wednesday, Franklin is Friday. And then there's a sign out for me there. And the teachers can sign up hour by hour. And I can either meet with them and have a discussion on, you know, they have this idea, I can help them implement it. I can co-teach with them. I don't come in and just teach, so it's a collaborative aspect, so where we're teaching together. And then I've been partnering with some high school teachers and starting to get in with the high school as well. I have the DNR that I'm partnering with a lot, and Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. So I'm getting a lot of partnerships that way as well. So it just kind of just keeps growing, and it's great. And more kids are wanting to participate in all these different projects, and that's a great feeling. So we'll see where it goes. I would love to make it something that everybody has access to, because that's my big thing, is that is STEM is for everybody, and it is everywhere. So
The reason
Yes,
I was
it is.
asking is because it seems to be a magnet type of situation for private schools and for charter schools to have these STEM centers for kids to go to. So that was the reason for my question.
right, and I try to really make sure that I'm tying everything into the standards for NGSS, science and engineering, social studies with the arc of inquiry, like those two. I mean, it's really showing how naturally it blends in, STEM blends in with all core subjects. So I think as that kind of becomes more of the familiarity, you can cover multiple standards by doing this one activity and getting them engaged. It brings the kids more engagement and buy-in. So I'm always open for discussions on anything.
Thank you. I'd like to say you guys are doing such a wonderful job, and this is the things that helps to make Wayne Weston a better district. So I'm really excited about this program, and I think it's going to grow. Does any other board members have any other questions? Oh, Ms. Abney Mitchell?
I would like to say thank you very much for all that you do. I've been over to the STEM Center, and I was out when you guys was in the parking lot, and just thank you, and just the patience that you have to put something together, because if it ain't put together when I look at it, I ain't got no patience. So just thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, and enjoy your summer.
Thank you. It takes a village, so it's never
Yeah, it
just me.
does.
It's all the teachers, but thank
Right.
you. I really appreciate it.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure they do too. Thank you. Have a wonderful summer.
Thank
I'm supposed to
you.
hand this over.
Now we're on to item B, the 2025-26 final budget presentation. Ms. Claire?
Jewel, can you pull the microphone closer to you? Thank you. So I have the PowerPoint behind you, and then there's also statements. So if you want to flip around what I'm going through. The first fund I was going to discuss is the general fund, which we kind of had talked about at our one planning session that we had, and it turns out it's pretty close to what I had on the previous budget. So as you remember, it is a loss of 9 million, and the different reasons, I have some of them here, is the loss of the 300 students. We lost some categoricals too. They increased the per pupil, but then they took away categoricals, so it really hurt us. And other districts too are having the same issue. We're purchasing $1 million of curriculum in this year. It includes, it includes staffing of $1 million extra in the transportation and 2 positions that we kept used to be in grants. This is based on current staffing and the contracts that we have. Some positions we won't be filling as people leave, and then if we are filling them, hopefully they'll be filled at a lower rate, because most of our staff is at the top. At the top. Okay, budget is at a loss of $9 million. The fund balance would be just above the 15 at 16.27. Any questions about the general fund?
I just have one question. I know we're having this crisis with the gas and diesel. How is that affecting our budget with transportation?
It's definitely affecting us. It's making their expenses even higher. This year, though, we did apply for some credits on our fuel. We got about $75,000 in credits from the state, so that's kind of helped us offset that increase.
Thank you.
The
May I-
special,
Just a follow-up question. Can you talk a little bit more about the credits? I just don't know what that is. I want to have a better understanding. When you say we got credits.
if you buy a certain type of fuel, you can apply. They only opened it up for 3 year, for 3 years. I applied for the whole 3 with Chad, our supervisor. We did it together. And we waited and waited, and we never got the money. And finally, we got our representative to check on it for us, and the money came within a week. So I don't understand all the different types of fuel.
Okay.
And
But it's just based on the fuel.
it's based on
Okay.
fuel and how much you bought in those 3-year period. And there's a calculation you go through, and it was about 25,000 for each year.
Okay.
But it's over. It was just the 3-year, got the money, and maybe something will be in the future again, but right now it was only for the 3 years that they opened it up.
Thank you. Thank you for applying for it.
So I'm going to assume that this was for taxes paid on the fuel that we got credits back for?
Probably. I just calculated what we paid. I assume it's part of the taxes, because even when we get it, there's still tax on it.
Right.
The special ed fund is always gonna have a 0 bottom line. It's funded by our state aid and Wayne Risa. The fund should always net to 0, because any expenses we have, they reimburse us after the state aid. Wayne Risa reimburses us 100%. They actually have been giving us extra money. We just got another like $700,000 from them, and so I told Mona she's gonna have to start thinking of something else. And fortunately, I can't put it in the general fund, but that's what the money the last 2 years she used that money for that playground, that adaptive playground. So they did give us another $700,000 for that. So we have some good things going. Grant fund is always equals 0. Whatever grants we get, we spend them, and it's a 0. We do get some indirects for working the grants and spending the time on them. That helps the general fund out. But it also allows us to do things that we wouldn't be able to do with the general fund, provide extra programs and stuff. So, and we're very lucky. We get a lot of grants. Food service, we have a small loss of 40,000. We were able to take 100,000 of indirects from the food service this year. Next year, we probably will be able to take more, because we bought that truck this year, that refrigerated truck, and that took, some of the money. So the food service, just a small loss. Sinking fund is funded by property taxes and interest. The funds are used to repair buildings, purchase technology, and security upgrades. In the future, after August 4th, we hopefully can use it for buses, which ours we got before the law changed. So if that passes, then we will be able to buy buses. Nothing will change. The tax stays the same. It only lets us use it because the date changes on it, and now it's after the date when you can use it for that. But we have an increase of 1.3 million. We haven't been really spending all the money in here, because it's mostly to be kept for something bad happening, and luckily we haven't had anything. The bond fund, this is our new bond, 2026 bond. We got 19 million, almost 20 million on April 6th. We had to pay the cost of issuance, and this year we will be buying, which you already approved, the Chromebooks. So that's all that we did with the bonds this year. The debt, we have an increase in fund balance to the debt fund, 1.2 million. Basically, we get we get interest on the money and property taxes, and it's used to pay off the debt for the bonds. So that one's doing good. The school activities fund, there's a small decrease in the fund balance of 148,000, which they just spent more than the revenue. It's just timing, really. They'll be back in the fall doing their fundraising and stuff. So it's still healthy fund balance. So all funds, are okay, except it's the general fund, and everybody is having this problem. This past year, these are my best estimates at the time of preparation. There's, could be a little bit off. It's just a budget. Another thing is the 31C. It's a grant that we applied for, and we don't find out until July, which causes a little bit of problems because, for one thing, they want you to spend $3 million of this last year's money put aside for it, which is really crazy. Doesn't make any sense. So if it does happen, we would have to rearrange some things in our budget and put that $3 million aside for that program for next year. But this grant does allow us to supplant. It will pay other wages. So it could be a great help to us over the next few years to prop our fund, get that fund balance back up where we'd like it to be. So, but that's just a big if right now. That's my last one.
Do we have any questions from the board members? Ms. May?
Thank you. I don't have a question, I have a comment. So first of all, Jewel, thank you so much for this presentation. One of the comments, or the comment that I have, and this kind of dovetails on some of the conversation that we just had around student achievement, right? Is understanding, like, we have these grants, and the grants are to help support our students who are identified at risk or who are not performing at grade level, and understanding that piece. And then also the fact that when you talk about 31C, and it is definitely a hiccup, unfortunately, in the process, right? But the idea behind the grant and reducing class sizes, right? And so I just wanted to lift that because we're having a conversation about how do we increase our student achievement? How do we ensure that our students have the best experiences? And so budget plays a part of that work as we're doing it. And so I just wanted to lift that because your presentation shared a lot of great information, but just helping everybody to understand all these funds and grants are earmarked for certain things, right? And how we're using them to definitely create better, a more improved environment for our students. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Dr. Weaver?
I just wanted to throw something out there, something I've been talking to Dr. Cost about, is that there are things that we must purchase in terms of use the money or lose it, or things that we must have. And then there are things that are more, okay, we've got the money, so let's get it type of items. I would like to see this board monitor closely the spending of the district. Again, we only know two things here: how to have so much money we can't stand it, and how to be at zero. So I would like to stop us as much as we can from being at zero. That's just my comment. Thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Abney Mitchell?
And Jewel, I would also like to say, you know, I sit on the finance committee with the other two board members, and I would just like to say thank you for all your efforts and the work that you do to put this budget before us, but also to answer any questions that we may have. So I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you and thank you for this budget.
Any other questions? I just had one question about the food cost. When we did the contracts, was it a set cost or does it go up due to the inflation with the food services?
The food is purchased by the company that we have, and I think that they could only go up that percentage that we agreed to. So, it can't go above that amount. I think it was like a 4% increase, and so, that's as high as I think it can go. So, yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have item C, the 2026-2027 proposed budget presentation. Ms. Claire?
Okay. I kept the count the same as 25, 26, and increased the amount to $250 per student, as everybody is talking that that's what it is gonna be. Increase the property taxes. The budget, again, we'll have $1 million of curriculum in 26, 27 also. We also have raises in there. We're gonna have the sale of the 2 buildings, which be about $800,000. We will receive 50% of the brownfield revenue. I don't know how much that is, so it's not included. And I think it's not, you don't get the money all at once. It's going to be it's going to be like taxed, and we will be getting it over the next, I don't even know how many years. So we will be getting some money there, but I can't quantify it at this time, so it's not in the budget. We're estimating $3 million of savings in salaries by not filling some positions because of the 300 student loss, and also we had some people retire, and when we fill those jobs, hopefully they'll be at a lower amount. We had the workshop, we talked about the different things, and I've incorporated all of those savings in this budget. We're gonna save $160,000 on insurance by using SETSAG. Transportation, we're gonna cut that by $500,000. Our audit fees will be cheaper. We're gonna try to keep our legal lower. We increased the price for our building usage because we hadn't increased it since 2012. And when we have somebody, there on a Sunday, that's double time, and wages are not the same as they were in 2012, so we had to do it. Some people are upset, but it just had to be done. We're decreasing supplies, pretty much around all of the budgets will have less in supplies. Trying to think what else we did. So I'm only budgeting a small loss. We're close to break even. Again, with the fund balance would still be close, to the 15, a little bit above it. And this is also not taking into account our 31C. So it could be a whole different picture if we get that grant. And special ed is pretty much the same. It's a zero balance. It's all gonna get reimbursed by RESA, everything that's over the state aid for those kids. The grant funds, We don't, kept it the same as this year because I really don't know what grants we're gonna get next year, but whatever they are, the fund's gonna equal zero. And there'll be items that, like, help the general fund by giving us some indirects and stuff. Food service, I budgeted a gain and also $200,000 coming to the general fund for indirects. It will have a better year. Sinking fund, we are gonna be doing technology and security upgrades next year. We'll be continuing to use it for technology. Then the next year, I think, is when we start getting the furniture for the buildings. This is digital signage. This is our bond, our new bond. I think I just kinda screwed up. I was talking about, sinking fund. We're gonna be buying those buses, hopefully, if we get that, approval. But the bonds, we'll be buying new signage in front of all the schools, classroom AV, upgrade to our network. The fund balance is now at, after we spend that 6.9 million, we'll be at 11.4. So debt retirement's pretty much the same. The money comes in, we pay the debt payments and the interest. And another small decrease to fund balance in the school activity fund. So again, this is my best estimate at this time, doing all the things that we talked about, reduce the reductions that we've talked about. But 31A, depending on what goes on with 31C, we might have to put 3 million of that has to be, each year, has to be allocated towards class size reduction. So other things that are in there would have to be moved out and either not done or general fund would have to cover them. So it'd be a lot of shuffling us around, so. But right now, I'm just assuming we're not getting it, because that's all best information I have at this time. And that's all I have.
Does any board members have any questions? Ms. May?
Just a point of clarification, I guess. So we're gonna vote tonight on the budget, the proposed budget, understanding that we still don't have a budget from the state, right? Which they're supposed to have that in place by July 1. So I just wanted to lift that piece, right? So we're kind of blindly voting on this budget that you created because you had to blindly create it because we don't know. And last year when we did this, again, we got jammed up because we lost the categorical, so just all those pieces and understanding that this will most definitely shift again once we get a budget from the state.
As soon as we, I'll do another amendment in the, as soon as we have better information, like our count on November, so we'll do another budget like at December. We'll have our count information. We'll know what the state's doing. We'll see if we're categorical. We'll know if we get the 31C, and hopefully the world looks better to us at that time.
May I ask a follow-up question really quick?
Yes.
Did we hear anything more about weighting 31A and Section 41 in the general fund budget? Is that still on the table potentially? Do you know? You guys not know what I'm talking about? Or you don't know about it? You don't know about it at all, or you haven't heard anything?
I don't think I understand the question.
Okay, so there's been the conversation around, instead of 31A being a separate grant, it being weighted as a part of the general fund, so your student count is weighted. The same with Section 41 for your English learner students. So I didn't know if we'd heard anything to say like, hey, they have taken that off the table, or that's still on the table. But no,
I haven't heard anything more, but it's kind of weighted anyway, because you get it based on how many kids, how many
Right.
kids you have and,
But it'll be a part of the general fund, it won't be separate. That's been the conversation. So I didn't know if that was taken off, but don't worry about it, if you hadn't heard about it, I didn't know.
Technically, our grant fund is, like, when we send it up to the state of Michigan in our FID, it collapses it into the general fund. So on our books, we have it as a separate fund, but it's still part of it.
Got it, okay,
Like, but we haven't heard any more about that.
okay.
I heard the beginning parts, but nothing has, that I've heard has, yeah, they're busy trying to get
Yep.
a budget. They're-
I just didn't know, cause you're finance, so you may have gotten a different update, you know, so that's why I asked, okay. Cause that'll have an impact as well, so.
Yeah. Things definitely could change, and probably will, for sure.
Thank you, and thank you for your work with this one.
And Mr. Cox?
Jewel, in your report, it shows that we have $377,000, just a little bit over that, in interest income on our fund balance. I'm looking at that number and I'm thinking about the $80,000 that we don't have in interest income, because our tax monies were not transferred to the school district for 2 years in a row by the municipality that collected them on our behalf. So, you know, the 21% of the amount is lost to us. And so, through the chair, I want an accounting of that, and I would like to know when we're going to receive those monies.
Yes.
I sent the information to the attorney, and he's gonna give it to someone who specializes in the state, you know, taxes and stuff like that, to see. Sometime, you know, he said sometimes it's not worth, you know, if you pay this much in legal to get this much, you know, so. They're gonna give us their opinion. And
Well,
How, through the chair, how can a municipality not honor taxes that they have collected for a certain thing? I don't understand that. I don't understand why we need an opinion, whatever, if that's malfeasance, if they're not paying us.
it's theft, it's conversion.
Yes.
It's not malfeasance. So everybody knows what happened. I'm not gonna mention the community because tonight it's not important, but one of the neighboring cities collect taxes on behalf, or from their residents and property owners for the school district. All of the communities where the school district does business, they do this. And this money is supposed to be transferred to us. But it wasn't for 2 years because they're enjoying the float interest on the money that they collected that really belongs in the school, in the classroom, not in the municipality. So now the issue is, well, it's cost us $80,000, but it might be too expensive to go get it. Not for me, it's not.
Nope.
I don't care if it costs $160,000. We gotta stop that. I mean, I care, but you get the point.
yes,
Any other questions?
I have a question. What is the pattern for that payment in the previous years?
in 23, 24, we got regular payments, like every month, something every month. In 24, 25, we got a payment at the end of the year. And all the other ones, all the other school districts got no money till the very end. So we were all, you know, running around. This year, it was only us. The other ones got their payments every month, and we didn't get ours until we wrote a letter. And I quoted all these laws, and, you know, we did get it pretty quick, but it was at the end of the, you know, end of the year again.
But it's a monthly payment.
Monthly, they're supposed to send it, a payment every month. It's in the law that like, whatever comes in, you should send it, you know, out.
As you get it in,
As you
you
get
should be
it, you
sending
should
it
be
in.
sending it out each month.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm sorry,
Oh,
through the
Dr.
president, are you saying that we are powerless to require them to send us what is our money?
No, I'm not saying powerless. I'm saying, you know, I mean, I can write a letter and do a calculation, you know, and see if they do it. Whether, I don't know that it would, what it would take, you know. The attorney is gonna tell me. If it's just me writing a letter saying, come on, you know, you owe us this, and this is the interest rate we should have been, you know, that money would have been getting. If they don't do it, then what do I do, you know, at that point? I know, like, the law says that, it's a misdemeanor for the treasurer not to send that money. You know, it's a misdemeanor, which is like getting a auto speeding ticket or something like that. So I don't think that's really, scary for somebody. So,
So that's why we involve legal,
Yeah,
to see
I-
what our
I'm
ramifications are.
definitely not an expert on,
Through the chair, that's a criminal charge. I don't even care about the criminal side of this. And I know that the community that we're talking to, they're not rolling in dough. I know they're not. It's not like they just arbitrarily are deciding not to send the money. They're broke, and they've been broke my whole life. So they don't have any money. And I understand that, but I'm interested in the civil side of this.
yeah.
Not the criminal side of it. I want the money back. So how can we not get the money back? If we had an $80,000 truck in the parking lot and someone took it, we would just say, oh, well, it's gonna be expensive to get it back. And I'm not asking you for this, Jewel. We need to know, we need to have a definitive number. This is the number, so we can go from there. But we have to go from there. We would not be proper stewards of the district's monies if we don't pursue it. So no matter what their situation is.
Ms. May?
What are our, I guess I would say our procedures or our processes when people don't pay their bill? Like, because if this is something that's supposed to be paid monthly and it hasn't been paid monthly, and if it was a vendor that, you know, we were doing business with that was supposed to pay us monthly, how will we go about getting our money? Do we follow that same process for this?
I mean, I had sent a letter previously in the year, but, it didn't result in anything. And then the last letter that I sent was a little bit stronger, it cited the laws and stuff, and they, like, literally got a check driven over to us. So,
But is that our process, like so if it's, say it's not a municipality, it's a vendor, we send
yeah.
letters, like how do we go about pursuing getting
Yeah,
our
we
money?
have receivables, and if they're not received within, you know, we send statements from our system, we send statements, and then, you know, we call all the time. So it's a constant procedure. And, you know, I could say I probably should have sent more letters throughout the year, but I kind of, after figuring out it was, you know, calling around, I figured, you know, it was only us,
Right. And understand, I'm not asking that question to say you didn't do something right. I just wanted to know what's our process. And,
Yeah.
and so to, Secretary Cox's point, right? If we're good stewards, then we're good stewards in all, for all of our business practices, right? And so that's where that question came from. Not to say there's a right or a wrong or anybody did anything wrong, just understanding what our processes are and making sure, or wanting to say to you, we need to follow it across the board, right? So it doesn't matter that it's a municipality or if it's a vendor. Like, whatever our processes are, I would like to see us follow them across the board so that we don't get 2 years in to noticing that money isn't there or whatever the case may be, however that came about. But thank you. I just wanted to understand that process.
Mr. Cox?
Well, with all due respect, and I understand why you would think in that vein, but our vendors are not fiduciaries for us. This municipality is. They're collecting our money on our behalf. It's not like they owe us money. They're actually collecting money from people who owe it to us, and then they're not giving it to us. That's a lot different. And what you would do in a situation where somebody was collecting money that was owed to you but not giving it to you is you would call the police and you would prosecute them, and then you would try to recover it civilly. None of those things would happen in a vendor situation. You would just try to get the money, and if you couldn't get it back, you would deal with a different vendor next time. But they're going to be collecting money for us again. And it's we can't trust them, is what's happening. We cannot trust them to have access to our money. So that's a whole different thing. That's not only the 80,000 or whatever the amount is from before, but that's the future too. And since their financial prospects aren't much better in the future, we have to deal with this, up to and including having someone else collect the money on our behalf that we can trust. So.
Any other questions, Ms. Abney?
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Well, I don't want to go back and forth with them, but, you know, just even sitting down, having a conversation with them, are they having trouble collecting the money? Is the money coming to them in a timely manner? You know, and maybe it is worth getting legal in there to see what's going on. They may be having a trouble collecting money. You can't give what you don't have. But we don't know.
Dr. Weaver?
Is the amount roughly about $1.3 million a year? Did
Yes.
I see that right?
But we got, for this payment, it was 1.6.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I just had one question, Ms. Claire. When it came to the transportation with the negative 500,000, would that be not including the new buses we need, or is there going to be like any particular cuts in the transportation? Because we had issues in the past with transportation, and we don't want to have any more in the future.
It won't be the buses because that's gonna be
Sinking
in
fund.
sinking fund.
Okay.
This is just the general fund. But I think we felt as a group is that we did throw money at the situation and it's fixed. We're not canceling routes, but I think we might have done a little too much.
Okay.
So we're pulling back a little bit and see, if that happens and things start swinging, we're not like letting anyone go or anything like that. We're just not, we're hiring drivers to basically, sit there in case someone calls in.
Right.
Because we just don't want those routes canceled. So we felt that we kind of overdid it a little bit, that the right fix would be half of what we did.
Just have like some on-call people standby or something like that on certain days, and that way you're not spending a whole lot of money, so I get it. Thank you. Any other questions?
One more.
Ms. May?
Just really quick, going back to the 50% of the brownfield that you said we would receive, is that money earmarked a particular way that we can spend it, or does it just automatically go into the general fund and we can spend it how we see fit?
I don't 100% know, but I believe that we can spend it any way we want to.
Okay, thank you.
Is everybody's minds clear? We're good? Okay, so we're gonna move on to citizens' comments, agenda items only. Before we begin public participation, I would like to briefly review our board's guidelines for public comments. The board values public participation and welcomes input from members of our community. To ensure everyone has a fair opportunity to be heard and that the board business can be conducted efficiently and respectfully, we ask that all speakers direct their comments to the board. Speakers will be recognized by board secretary, asked to identify themselves before speaking. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Unused time may not be shared, transferred, or gifted to another speaker. Board members generally will not respond to questions or comments during public participation. Matters requiring follow-up will be referred to the superintendent for further review and consideration. We ask that all speakers and audience members conduct themselves respectfully and courteously. Personal attacks, disruptive behavior, and demonstrations of approval or disapproval are not permitted so that all participants may be heard, and the meeting may proceed in an orderly manner. Thank you for your cooperation and for participating in tonight's meeting. And Mr. Secretary, do we have any,
Madam
Citizen
President,
comment?
we have Nicole Holland that would like to speak on the resignation topic.
thank you.
I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible and get it out as fast as I can. So, we lost our principal. She forced resigned today, this afternoon. And when I mean forced resigned is there was not a proper investigation done. Nobody was asked questions throughout our building next door, John Glenn, nowhere. She is also the best and only CTE and principal you're gonna find around here. So I really hope you guys got a plan. Okay, and also what she was accused of, I turned in 60 pages of evidence that everything she was accused of by the person that accused her, from his own words, showing it never happened. So I'm just really upset that this was not followed through or taken care of the way it should have been. And I have so much more to say. One of the things is supervisor-employee relationships. You all have not been here long enough to know better. We had a principal from William D., married the health act teacher. I'm married to my husband. We worked in the same building. We had a superintendent married to a teacher that worked for the district. In the history of Wayne Wesleyan Community Schools, this has never been an issue. Why it is now, I don't know. Also, the person that accused said person of doing wrongdoing showed up at that person's house June 4th, where police had to be called. She was harassed, she was threatened. There was obscene things screamed in her front yard, and nothing was done about this. So when we are moving forward in the future, and like I told you guys from the beginning, right is right and wrong is wrong. I was not here because of a friendship or who is who or what is what. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And you guys did not investigate this properly. 19 instructors wrote letters to your district attorney stating what happened, stating that everything he said was a lie. I'm guessing one of our departments didn't follow through properly, and one of their close personal friends leaked all this information to around. An old principal called an old principal's nephew and said, oh, I heard that she no longer works for Wayne Wesleyan Community School Districts. This was in March.
40 seconds.
So we have a leak in the Human Resource Department. We have people talking when they shouldn't, and investigations not being done properly at all. So, and now we have lost a tremendous part of a CTE program. You're never getting back. I don't care who you put in that position, you're never getting that back. She was on the commissioner board for our construction team. She was on budgeting. She was on everything. So I really hope there's a better plan, seeing you forced her to resign today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more citizens' comments, agenda items only? All right, next we are at the consent agenda. We have minutes, human resource items, business, financial items. Let's see. Oh, curriculum and instruction, donations. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Any
Support.
support? Okay.
Support.
Roll call vote?
Cox is yes. Ms. May.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell.
Yes.
President Hines.
Yes.
Motion passes. Can I make a comment on that?
Yes, Mr. Cox.
We have the Rotary Club of Westland, which donated $25,000. And we have Crouppens, Poopin, Scoopin. $10,000. Boy, that's a lot of shovel moving. Much appreciated. That's a big number. Those are big numbers, so much appreciated.
Thank you very much. We have the Board of Education Committee reports. Student Achievement Committee, Mr. Roshan is not in. Does anyone have the notes from that committee? Okay.
Well, we have the minutes in our packet.
Okay, so would somebody from the committee like to read the minutes?
Sure. The Student Achievement Committee meeting was held on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. Mr. Roshan welcomed the committee members, and during that time, the Student Advisory Committee applications were reviewed. We received, or there were 2 applications received. It was a discussion that the application window would be reopened in August, late August, early September, as students will be returning to school, and the timing at this time may have been off. Dr. Cost and Dr. Jefferson shared a portion of the PowerPoint that was shared at the district summit. Each committee member received a full report or PowerPoint, and there were no citizens' comments. Dr. Cost thanked everyone for coming out, and there were some board member comments, and the meeting was adjourned at 4:50 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. May. Next, we have the Finance and Facility Committee report. Mr. Umbras?
The Finance and Committee meeting was called to order on Thursday, June 4th at 5:31 p.m. We heard from Ms. Groves on some curriculum purchases that'll be presented tonight. The first is for purchasing our middle school science curriculum. They would like to use Savas Elevate Science Resources for $379,600 roughly. Explore Learning virtual lab platform for approximately $35,000. There's some printing costs that go along with this that would be for $25,000, and then allowances for some consumable materials over this contract for $75,000, for a total of $515,000 charged to the general fund, and this contract would expire the 2030-31 school year. She then went on to talk to us about renewing curriculum for our social studies and our English language arts. Social studies, we would continue to use TCI Social Studies Alive. It would be a 2-year renewal at $92,000. And 1XL ELA, another 2-year renewal for $95,000. So roughly these 2 renewals would cost the district an additional $187,500, and that would also be charged to the general fund. We then heard from Mr. Beebe, who came to us with with quite a few IT renewals that the board uses. The first was Inform K-12 Online. This is basically the one-stop shop for field trips and other items that the district uses for it's in terms of scheduling. The total for the year is going to be $46,000 for that. It would come from our general fund. Our Fortnite cybersecurity renewal licensing software. This is a multi-layered protection for staff and student devices. This will be approximately $40,000 to the general fund. We talked about Mosel Manager licensing renewal. This is the remote management for our iPads and our Macs that the district owns. This will allow the IT department to to remotely access and monitor these devices, that's $49,500 charged to the general fund. We're looking at licensing for the district phone system through Moss. They currently have the work. That's going to be another $35,000. And then our door vestibule systems. If you walk up to any of our buildings, you have a doorbell with a camera on it and a speaker. We need to update those. Right now they are integrated into our IT system. This new system will have a dedicated phone line to it because right now, since the cyber attack that we had, a good portion of the time someone's having to leave the office to go answer the door. It's not safe for our staff or for our students. The total for that is going to be just under $33,000, and this will come from our sinking fund budget. Then he is going to also be requesting a renewal for Incident IQ, Integrated Asset Management and Help Desk System, for another $42,000. And then Lightspeed alert licensing renewal. This proactively identifies students in crisis, classroom disruptions, and inventory inefficiencies and prioritizes district-wide support. This will be $31,000 and charged to the general fund. We then heard from Miss Claire, where she first talked to us about the L4029 resolution. That is a tax levy that will be on the ballot. She then went over the final budget in the preliminary budget, which she just went through with the board just a few moments ago. We reviewed the state aid report, the investment report, the check register. There were no citizen comments, and we heard from Dr. Cost and myself, Ms. Mitchell, and Mr. Cox, and we were adjourned at 6:45 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Umbras. Now we have the Policy and Procedure Committee. Dr. Weaver?
Thank you, Madam President. Fred Weaver, Shannon Rashan, Melanie Hines were at the meeting. The meeting was gavelled into order at 3:34 p.m. Dr. Jefferson talked to us about proposed policy as to how we are to handle public complaints in this district concerning instructional materials or books that we have in our libraries. The cell phone policy enforcement update, we are continuing to try to enforce the cell phone policy, which simply says that a student may not have their cell phone out during class instruction time unless there is some sort of idea, some sort of that causes them to have to. Committee members were given the opportunity to ask questions. Item 4, the board travel that was discussed, is that each board member every July 1st will receive in their account $3,000 for board travel. Since we have already communicated by a motion that no board member will be traveling outside the state for a 3-year period, these monies are to be used by individual board members at MASB to encourage learning. If they do not use it, it does not accrue until the next year. They either use it or they do not. We looked at policy updates from Miller Johnson. There were no citizens' comments. Dr. Koss shared with us board member comments, and we were adjourned at 4:11 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Weaver. Now we are at review and approval of business, service, and finances. So we have a recommendation to approve middle school science curriculum adoption. Dr. Jefferson?
Thank you so much. And I'll try to go over these as quickly as possible because we have a bundle of them this evening. The first one is a recommendation to purchase middle school science curriculum. As Sherry Grove, Executive Director of Middle School Curriculum, presented at the June Finance Committee, we're requesting board approval for the purchase of the following resources: Savas, Explore Learning, printing costs, and an allowance for consumables for the hands-on lab portion. This is for the 2026-27 school year and concluding at the end of the 2030-31 school year. The total cost is $515,000 and will be funded through the general fund. I recommend that the board approve the purchase of the middle school science curriculum.
Madam President, may I interrupt for a second?
Yes, Dr. Weaver.
Thank you, Dr. Jefferson. Unless there is any dissent from a board member, I would like to move that we collectively vote on items A through L instead of going through them serial item. We've all read, we know where we're going. And so I'm making the motion that we approve these items with one vote.
Do we have a second? Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Well, it's as Dr. Weaver said, there's nothing new here. And being in finance, we went through all of this, so I'm fine with it.
Okay, so we will take the motion to do all of these from A all the way down to
L.
L in one vote because it's
You want to
finance.
vote on this first?
Yes,
I mean,
so we're gonna go ahead and vote on that, and then we're gonna do the roll call vote.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Cox says yes. Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Miss Ebony Mitchell,
Yes.
Miss May,
Yes.
Ms. President Hines.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you.
Everyone owes Dr. Weaver a Hershey bar.
Okay, so now we're gonna do a motion from A through L.
So moved.
Second,
Support.
roll call vote.
Miss Ebony Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Miss May,
Yes.
Cox says yes. Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
President Hines.
Yes.
Yes, motion's passed.
Okay. Right here. Let me see. Right here. Okay, so we have a review and approval of administrative services, Michigan High School Athletic Association membership resolution. Mr. Toko?
I'm handling this for him.
Okay.
There's no cost to the district, so I would like, board approval to continue this membership for this next year.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support? Roll call vote?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Cox says yes. Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Miss Ebony Mitchell,
Yes.
Miss May,
Yes.
President Hines.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Review and approval of human resource items, A, 2026-27 Staff Recognition and Appreciation Days. Dr. O'Feely?
Yes, I'll present that on his behalf. I am respectfully requesting the Board of Education's approval of the proposed employee recognition dates for the 2026-27 school year as a part of the district's ongoing commitment to recognizing the dedication, service, and accomplishments of our employees. Annual recognition dates have been scheduled through the upcoming school year. These dates are presented for board approval in accordance with the district's established practice of approving employee recognition dates on an annual basis. Thank you for your consideration.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Any questions or discussions? Roll call vote?
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Miss May,
Yes.
Cox is yes. Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
President Hines.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Next, we are in review and approval of Board of Education items. Recommendation to approve Dr. Kathleen Cost, Superintendent of Wayne West End Schools, effective July. I'm sorry.
You're missing the league, the one above.
Policy manual.
Miller Johnson.
Oh, where's, is it right here? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so
Thought we
sorry.
have A first.
Sorry, guys.
We just did A, now
So,
we're on B.
this is my first day, thank you. So, recommendations to approve the policy administrative guideline updates as recommended by legal firm under separate cover. Do I have a motion?
I'll read it first, just quickly.
Okay.
As presented by Dr. O'Feely, at the June 3rd Policy Committee meeting, the district seeks approval to update the board policy manual and administrative regulations. I recommend the Board of Education approve the proposed updates and additions provided by Miller Johnson School Policy Services. These revisions will help ensure that the district's policies and administrative guidelines, regulations remain current, legally compliant, and aligned with best practice in school governance and operations.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Miss May,
Yes.
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Cox is yes. President Hines.
Yes.
Yeah, the motion passes.
Next, we have review and approval of Board of Education items. Recommendation to approve Dr. Catherine Cost, Superintendent of Wayne West End Schools, effective July 1st, 2026, under separate cover. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a
Support.
second?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Cox is yes. Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Miss May,
No.
Miss Abney Mitchell,
No.
and President Hines.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Congratulations. Next, we have citizens' comments, non-agenda items, and the same rules will apply as we did before with the agenda items.
Madam President, we have Melody Harris. Yeah, Eleanor Trudeau, sure.
Sorry, it's a hard name.
It's even harder when it's written as it is.
What a wonderful year. Teachers were great, very kind and nice. Made new friends and found new faces and saw old faces and saw nice faces. And new personalities and a lot of love and a lot of supplies. And thank you, Miss Swanson, for being with me every Tuesday and running my Girl Scout troop. Thank you again.
Thank you.
How's that for courage?
That was pretty good. And I changed some of the words and then she got mad at me earlier and was crying, but, oh, I don't know where I'm gonna start. This is, let me know when my minutes start.
begin?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm kind of thrown off guard because I just heard the story this nice lady told, and it kind of brings back, emotional trauma and painful memories for me, myself, and other, people working in the Wayne Westland School District. So I really feel for this woman, and I don't know if there's a chance to get her back or what you can do for her, but I really recommend another investigation because 60 pages of proof is quite a bit. So that just kind of brings, tears to my eyes, and thank you for advocating for her, whoever it is. So please reconsider that. And starting with some positives, I had a great year volunteering at Wildwood. I got to do a personal read in Miss Mosa's class. She went out of her way to do that for me. And I did the field day. That was a blast. I did the school picnic, and then I had a really big, huge cast, a lot bigger than this, and I still worked at the picnic. So I want to thank Ms. Babiak and all the staff there for making it a pleasant experience. I have to go into some negatives, so please don't anybody get mad at me. So what happened was back when we were interviewing for the superintendent, us parents and different people were brought in on the 24th and 25th. We interviewed superintendent candidates. We spoke with them. We were told it was going to be a couple weeks before, one was picked. And then all of a sudden, when I was writing my input, I found out the very next morning that specific board members decided that they wanted to go against the original plan. And, that was really disheartening. And please try to respect and stick to original decisions, dates, especially when it involves parents, community, and precious time. I feel it made us look inconsistent. I feel like it made us look unprofessional to the candidates, the public. And I'm not saying we can never change our minds, that's okay, but I feel what happened was unacceptable. So I know it was specific board members that decided to do that. Please don't do that again unless, you think it's really important. So no hard feelings, don't get mad at me. I want to thank Mr. Embrus and Mr. Weaver coming and saying hello to us tonight. I also want to thank Ms. Kimberly May for always and forever supporting parents. It really means a lot, and I'm sure the rest of you that do. And congratulations to Mrs. Cost. This is nothing personal. Sorry about the phone. I've been trying to turn it off and I can't do it. That's a child that's calling me in the district. But congratulations to you. I would just like to keep other things consistent. And please, a friendly reminder to get with Mr. Bisick. Keep working on that student code of conduct book to come up with other ways to not have extreme violations used against immature elementary students.
Time is up.
Okay. I didn't get the rest in because I was trying to advocate for this principal, but thanks again to the Board of Education and everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next, we have our superintendent.
I think we have,
One more?
I don't know if we have Jamie Kittle,
Oh, Jamie, okay. Jamie.
and then we had, I don't know who is who here, so Melinda.
Is there
Harrison.
any other
Have we written
comments
them
to fill out a slip?
Who just spoke?
down? Okay.
Hello. I am a teacher's assistant over at William D. Ford, and I have a concern. I don't know the procedure of teachers being gone and them being allowed to come back. And I'm going to feed off a little bit of the investigation and things not being done or asked or addressed, because I was one of those comments in that 60 pages of having something to say. And I feel very uncomfortable with this teacher coming back into our building and having to deal with this teacher on a very regular basis, because this teacher's wife has called me and accused me of having inappropriate intentions with the teacher when there was none of that. And so I feel threatened. And I was told that this teacher is going to be allowed to come back and teach next year. And I don't know if you guys can do anything about it or do your own investigation as a school board. I don't know if you are aware of all the different things that we thought were pertinent in this investigation, but I just wanted to make it known that I'm not the only one that's uncomfortable. And we want you to please not let this person back into our building because it is toxic and will be very disruptive. And I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all the sheets I have, Madam President.
All right, thank you. So we're going to be next to our superintendent's report and comments. Dr. Cost.
Thank you, President Hines. I first want to say thank you to all of our staff for having such a successful end of the school year. And it does take a village from so many people getting our students across the finish line at graduation and then at 5th grade ceremonies and 8th grade ceremonies and everything in between. I'm just so appreciative of all the time and energy and planning that went into such a successful end of the school year. Jewel, thank you for all the work on our current budget as well as the proposed budget. This is so important to any school district, and to have somebody with Jewel's expertise really, really lends credibility and gives us peace of mind as to how we move forward. So thank you very much. Last but not least, I'd like to thank the school board members for your feedback on my evaluation tonight and your faith in me for the next 3 years, and I could not be more blessed to continue my time here. So thank you one and all.
Next, we have review and recommendations of the Board of Education. Ms. Abney Mitchell.
Yes, I just want to say, thank you to all of our teachers, our students for a successful year, and for everybody to enjoy their summer. Be safe and be happy. That's all I have.
Ms. May.
Thank you. I'd like to first say congratulations again to the class of 2026. All 3 schools did an outstanding job with the graduation ceremonies. I also appreciate all of the work of all the staff to ensure our students had a phenomenal school experience during the 25-26 school year. I'd also just like to share, and I shared this with Dr. Cost prior to coming to the table, that my vote of no on her contract is related to contract language concerns and not related to her ability to do the job. So I just wanted to share that piece. And I also just like to take a few minutes to wish everyone a wonderful and relaxing summer. Thank you.
Mr. Ambrose.
Again, I want to say congratulations to the class of 25-26. I only was able to attend 2 of the graduation ceremonies. Unfortunately, it was my daughter's, my oldest daughter turned 21 on the 31st. And so I had to leave before the WIA's graduation ceremony so I could celebrate my daughter's time. I thought the Wayne Memorial and John Glenn ceremonies were well prepared. I was really impressed with the student led at John Glenn and the seriousness that they took it with. And I would actually like to see that maybe going forward with all our schools. Going forward the next 2 months, as we are not going to have schools making presentations. This district, we've spent a lot of money on some curriculum items in the past. Letters program for one. We've invested money in mathematics. And I would like to hear where we are in terms of our plans with those in student achievement, where we're at, and what our next steps are to be able to start improving scores. And with that, I want to have everyone wish them a happy summer vacation. I hope you teachers take the time to decompress, relax, enjoy being away from students for a few weeks, but at the same time, continue learning. And thank you for all the good that you've done this year. And again, congratulations, Dr. Cost.
Mr. Cox?
Tonight usually really represents a new beginning for this board. We have had a very difficult couple of years. Began believing that we were millions upon millions of dollars short, only to find out that wasn't true. But between thinking that it was and finding out that it wasn't, we shot ourselves in the foot just about as severely as you could. We took a superintendent who was doing a job that we're still seeing the fruits of the labor and just threw him out. And then there was another person who took the superintendency over, and also that person wasn't supported. And now we've just hired a new superintendent. Congratulations, Dr. Cost. And still, it wasn't unanimous. Even though the last thing John Silveri said before he walked out of this room the day of the vote is, if you see that the vote, that the superintendent candidate that you want already has 4 votes, show solidarity, show support. That they're already the superintendent. Show support. That wasn't done then, and it wasn't done tonight. And while I totally understand everybody has the right to vote the way they think is best, the decision has now been decided. And it's the policy of the board that we will go together arm in arm, even if we didn't like it. Maybe we bought all white vehicles and someone wanted them all to be black. Well, doesn't matter. We all decided, the majority's decided, and I expect every member of the Board of Education to support this superintendent, because supporting this superintendent is supporting our school district. And I understand if you didn't care, it wouldn't matter to you. So I know you all care. And I talked to probably the most elder statesman in Westland over the last couple of weeks, and one of the things that he says, and he's connected to the school community, is people in this city want all of this to come to an end. And they want us to move together in a spirit of cooperation and address the problems of the district. Board level issues need to be at the bottom of the list, and he's absolutely right with that. So thank you. Congratulations, Dr. Cost, and to everybody who has contributed to this work. But it's a new day. Thank you.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Dr. Cost, I am ecstatic that you have been voted in as our superintendent. My prayer for you is that you stay with us many years, because one thing this district needs is consistency. I'll disagree with my fellow board members.